If you're watching this video, chances are you're no stranger to pranking. Over the past 5 years, pranking has become a popular trend on both YouTube and other social media platforms. While most pranks are fake and meant to be funny, these 15 pranks are seemingly genuine and purely terrifying. Please do not attempt to recreate any of the following pranks, as there are serious possible consequences to each. Number 15. Zombie Subway. This prank was not orchestrated by a run-of-the-mill YouTube prankster, which is likely what makes it so great. The elaborate prank was set up by the Silvio Santos Show, a popular Brazilian program. The prank shows several women sitting on the subway, likely late at night. They notice the lights flickering in an unusual manner. In most cases, the train comes to a complete stop and some of the women involved attempt to exit but realize the doors are malfunctioning. Before the prank even comes full circle, many women are already unsettled and begin to panic. After a final flicker of the lights, a horde of actors dressed as zombies approach the train. Moaning and growling as zombies do, they claw at the windows and try to pry their way in as they pursue their victims. By this point, the prank victims are in a panic, some in tears, some crouched for protection. At this point, you can't even imagine all the things possibly running through their minds. For those who believe in the possibility of a zombie outbreak, this is a nightmare come to life. Even for those who believe zombies aren't a likely reality, you may think people are crazy enough to dress up and attack others. While it is a little sad to think how scared these women must be, it's pretty fascinating to see the amount of sheer effort and creativity put into this prank. If you're enjoying the video so far, please give it a like as it really helps me out. Number 14. Haunted House for Sale. This prank was published in October 2015 as a promotion for Paranormal Activity: The Ghost Dimension. But rest assured that all the fear presented in this video are genuine. Creators of Paranormal Activity invited strangers to come view a house for sale and give their opinion on the location. What participants didn't know was that this house was from the original Paranormal Activity movie released in 2007. As innocent tour members walked through the house, a fake realtor gave them information about renovations that had been done and what rooms were best for entertaining or relaxing. Throughout the prank, visitors would be scared with a swinging chandelier, a falling picture, and a cracking mirror.
I love this vaulted ceiling. That is Suddenly, you guys upstairs. Oh my God! Great.
As the guests walked through the house, the scares got more intense. One guest went as far as to completely run out of the house. The essence of this prank isn't really creepy, but imagining these jump scares happening to you is pretty scary. Number 13. Demon Prank. This prank was also released in October of 2015 and features a large demon chasing people around near a church. The prankster spotted a long dark robe and a large demon mask with a moving mouthpiece for extra effect. The pranks occurred late at night when only street lamps were available to light up the scene, which was what really made this prank terrifying. While most ended up laughing after a few seconds, some were so scared that they actually called police. Despite your belief in the supernatural, seeing this depiction chasing you late at night is enough to scare anyone, even if for only a moment. Number 12. Snake Prank. Derek Desso and Lisette Cornejo are two popular YouTubers that have gained fame through vlogging, participating in challenges, and of course pranking. The two have been dating for some time now, and most of their pranks are aimed towards each other. Some pranks are innocent and even hilarious. However, there have been several pranks where viewers thought they may have been taking things a little too far. One of those pranks was the snake prank. Derek knew that Lisette was terrified of snakes and wanted to get her back for a recent firecracker prank in the best way he saw possible. In the beginning of the video, he shows a box with two pythons and explains,
"And I'm about to throw these venomous ass snakes on my girlfriend."
How could you, bro?
Let's go.
Although it's important to note that pythons aren't venomous, they are large and can do serious damage with their bites. Derek entered his home where his girlfriend was napping in their bed. The snake owner then gently placed the snakes over her as she slept. Derek wakes her by telling her, "Don't move, there's two giant snakes on you." Of course, she wakes up startled and looks back at the snakes before going into a full-on panic.
Baby, don't move, there's two ginormous snakes on your back.
What the fuck? Derek, get the fuck off of me! This is not funny!
He's gonna bite you. Don't move, baby, he's gonna bite you.
For the majority of the remainder of the video, Lisette is screaming, crying, and begging for the snakes to be removed, all while lying perfectly still. If you're afraid of snakes, you can imagine the fear, panic, and real-life nightmare she was experiencing throughout this seemingly innocent prank. Even if you aren't afraid of lovable scaly pets, imagine your biggest fear placed on top of you while you slept, and you're unable to escape due to paralyzing fear. Even after the snakes are removed, she continues to cry and hyperventilate, still in a state of panic. Many believe that this prank took it a step too far, and that Lisette and Derek are both dangerous to one another. Number 11. Killer Samurai. Samurai swords have had their place on the internet for years now. People seem to love the oddly satisfying visuals of sharp samurai swords slicing through mundane household objects. Would viewers feel the same seeing this sword glide through a human being? This prank tested exactly that. The setup featured someone in a robe with a fake head and someone dressed as a ninja. Performed mostly in a parking garage, the duo would wait for someone to walk up and then the ninja would approach the actor sporting a dummy head. In most cases he would say, "Are you ready to die?" and then cut the dummy head, which released a flow of very realistic looking blood. The ninja would then look up at the prank victim and say, "You're next."
Oh, please. No, please, no!
In most cases, the prank victim was already running by now, screaming and in fear of what they had just seen. For the amount of blood present, it's likely that they didn't logically think through things to rationalize that the head was fake or that the blood looked a bit too watery. Most of them were just ready to save themselves. Of course, there are some clear dangers to performing a prank like this. Running after people with a samurai sword can lead to a lot of real-life accidents where the blood would be more than just corn syrup. Number 10. Slenderman. Creepypastas have been popular for several years, and some of them are truly unsettling stories. When you combine that with the recent murders related to Slenderman or other creepypastas, these fun, scary stories become a macabre reality. This prank from June 2015 brings that fear to life with a Slenderman murder. A man dressed as Slender crouches near a gruesome yet fake dead body, either in an elevator, out on the street, or in his own apartment. The prank victims walk up to see the bloody scene and the pale white, well-dressed humanoid, from which most of them run screaming. It's important to remember that while most of these may not have believed that this was the true Slenderman, it's very possible that they were afraid because they knew it could have been a regular human, crazy enough to kill in the name of Slender. In a few of these later pranks, the ghostly man is joined by what appears to be a bloody ghost of a young girl. The pair hold hands in front of fake corpses as victims walk by. Adding this child element to the mix makes it all the more horrifying. Not only does the young girl look creepy as well, many would assume she had been badly hurt by the man, or perhaps if someone believed enough, they'd think she was under his spell. Number 9. Killer Clown Prank. After the strange clown sightings and attacks that occurred in 2016, we need a reminder of where this all started. In early 2014, clown pranks became popular, starting with this simple killer clown prank. While funny from afar, anyone terrified of clowns or worried that good people can snap in any day, these pranks were terrifying. It would usually consist of a clown approaching someone walking late at night, but in this particular collection, things were taken a step further. The clown with a nightmarish face would smash the head of a dummy in a bloody mess, attempt to pour fake gasoline all over someone's car, and chase down prank victims with a large hammer or weapon. The creepy laugh that this prankster produced is also ghastly to say the least. While this wasn't the first clown-related prank to ever be done, it certainly sparked a lot of interest. The video garnered over 50 million views to date on YouTube and countless views from other sources such as Facebook or Reuploads. Number 8. Clown Slit Throat. Much like the previous prank, this one is centered around a creepy killer clown, sporting brilliant colors and a horrifying face. However, this prank takes it a step further as far as blood and gore. It's also a bit more in your face. This video involves a clown and a fake murder victim waiting patiently in a shaky elevator for the prank victims to come along. The murder victim sits tied to a chair and covered in blood, with a thick layer of FX skin over his neck. The clown waits, holding a large knife to the skin. When the door opens to prank victims waiting to enter the elevator, the clown uses his large knife to cut through the layer of fake skin, which looks grossly realistic. The murder victim then falls to the ground screaming and convulsing, before the clowns chase after the prank victims, most of whom have run screaming by this point. It's important to remember that this is a particularly dangerous prank, because the only thing between a large blade and the actor's throat is a thin and weak layer of FX wax or latex. Anything could have gone easily wrong here. Though we must admit, the prank itself was a pretty good step in upping the ante on clown pranks. Number 7. The Horror Trio. Last year, before the release of The Purge election year, there was a lot of Purge-related pranks. Some of them were pretty good and led to some sticky situations, but we found that most viewers presume them fake either because of their setup or their creators. We always aim for the most convincing content here. It was posted on Halloween Day in 2014 and features actors dressed as 3 major horror icons: Chucky from Child's Play, Jason from Friday the 13th, and Ghostface from Scream. The trio went around scaring innocent prank victims usually by their sheer presence. In one case, they were washing fake blood off their car at a car wash, when a man in the spot next to them kept looking over worried and afraid. He eventually got into his car and sped off, as Jason chased after him. The reason people were scared of something like this, even so close to Halloween, is because they worried people may dress up in this manner to commit crimes. It's a pretty common idea that if you can't see someone's real face, they're up to no good. Another, more intricate example of this prank involved a large axe sitting at the end of a trail of fake blood, which led to what appeared to be a dead body in a parking garage. One man noticed the scene and was glancing towards the body when Jason saw him and motioned for the 2 others. As the trio began to follow the prank victim, he hurried off. Number 6. Dead Boyfriend. This prank is scary for a much more realistic and morbid reason than the others. It involves a boyfriend pranking his girlfriend into thinking he has either been murdered or committed suicide. This video was posted by Nate's Life in August 2016 and really takes the whole idea of a prank a step too far. Nate was apparently getting back at his girlfriend for an earlier prank and stepped the game up by filling their bathtub with fake blood, covering himself in the fake blood. making it appear as though there was a struggle, and bringing a large knife into the scene. When his girlfriend walks in to find the gory crime scene, she immediately melts down crying. She jumps into the bloody tub, fully clothed, screaming and yelling his name. She tries to awaken him and attempts to pull him out of the tub. It doesn't take long before Nate begins to laugh and his girlfriend realizes it's all a prank.
Nathan! Nathan! Oh my god, Nathan! Nathan!
Got you.
He explains to her and tries to keep a smile, but she's clearly upset at not letting this one slide that easily. She grabs the knife and storms out telling him, "You have issues." Of course, the most horrifying part of this prank is that this is a deep fear or dark reality for some. People are murdered every day, and even more commit suicide throughout the world. The death of your significant other is not a lighthearted pranking matter. Number 5. Scary twins. Horror movies of all kinds have contributed to making children scary. The Omen, Children of the Corn, and the others, just to name a few, have accomplished making ghostly or evil children something to fear. The Shining, however, should be credited for making twin girls specifically unsettling. This prank, posted by the Scary Prank Show in October 2015, took that inspiration to set up a pretty chilling prank. Two young women in light blue dresses covered in blood, with whiteout contacts and dark circles around their eyes, paired up in a truly frightening way for this one. From a playground to a dark tunnel to the middle of the road, the two girls terrify passerbys by either chasing them down with a giant axe or by one sneaking up behind them unexpectedly. With all the murderous children in the news in the past few decades, many probably believe that these two girls were playing a sick game that would lead to real harm. Most people involved in the prank would scream and run away immediately, while the girls followed at a normal pace behind them. One person even left his car behind when the girls began to follow him. Number 4. German Mutant Prank. An interesting aspect of this prank is the intro. It's actually very intricate and tells a story, which is new compared to most pranks. The video, posted by DM Pranks Productions in October 2014, begins with several Nazi soldiers speaking to a doctor about some kind of experiment. The doctor argues that the subject is not ready yet, to which the soldiers say, "Get him, we'll do it now." The next scene shows the doctor pronouncing the subject dead, and the Nazis throwing the infected body into a river. The scene jumps to Italy 72 years later, and a very muscular actor wearing a mutant mask pops out of the water yelling. From here the actual pranking begins. The weapon-yielding mutant waits in dark alleys or behind park buses and then jumps out or follows victims to scare them. Most people clearly are aware this isn't a real mutant, most of them saying, "Who is this guy? What do you want?" or something of the like. Regardless, they're terrified because a masked person is chasing after them with a knife or axe. In some cases, a blood-filled dummy is used for extra effect, which adds an extra layer of gore to the prank. In fact, in the last scene of this video, the mutant is sitting on a concrete bench surrounded by 4 or 5 gory bodies, all cut in half or torn by the limbs. Walking up to the scene before you really know what's going on is horrifying, and can likely even scar someone for life. Number 3. Hell Monster. This prank is similar to the previous one in that it involves a mutant-like creature. The monster, sporting some type of beige jumpsuit, has a wrinkled face, razor-sharp teeth, and a large distorted mouth and hollow dark eye sockets. The monster scares a woman in a parking lot so bad that she falls to the ground and starts screaming, "Please stop," until he runs from the scene. Later, he lays outside of the bathroom of a public park and a woman approaches him to see if he's okay, but he turns and reveals his grotesque face. She immediately runs screaming and he chases after her. In one case of the prank, he approaches a woman at a bus stop. Surprisingly, she doesn't run away immediately. Instead, she stands in a place and says, "What are you doing here?" and threatens to call the police. In a final attempt to scare her, the monster lunges forward and she finally runs away. It's uncertain to say if more people were afraid of the mask itself or the idea of this large man scaring them late at night. Number 2. Hissing cockroaches. For any of us afraid of bugs, specifically roaches, we can all agree that this prank is terrifying and feel sympathy for the girl involved. This video was posted by Prank vs. Prank, a channel run by couple Gina and Jesse. The couple consistently pranks one another and usually Gina gets the worst end of it. In this video, Jesse explains that Gina is deathly afraid of insects, so he purchases several large hissing cockroaches. He sets up several rigs in the bathroom, such as putting them in the bowl of the toilet and under 2 boxes that he has strings to. When Gina lifts the toilet cover, she sees the roaches and screams. Jesse then lifts the boxes off of the several other roaches. With easily 12 roaches in the bathroom at this point, Gina screams and jumps into the bathtub. Jesse enters the bathroom, picking up a roach and approaching her with it. She screams and hyperventilates in a panic as he nearly throws one on her. She eventually escapes the bathroom, but if you're afraid of creepy crawlies, you know for a fact she was still in a panic. Before we get to number 1, my name is Chills and I hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you've ever been curious as to what I look like in real life, then follow me on Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT. I also have a Twitter at YTChills where I post video updates. I'd really appreciate it if you followed me and feel free to send me a DM if you have any questions or suggestions. Number 1. Suicide prank. Many believe that this prank was done in poor taste and some of you may agree. This video was posted by Top15s in January 2015 and was quite an elaborate hoax. The video features a dummy dressed as a dark-haired woman in a white gown, set up on the edge of a bridge or a building. The body would drop as if committing suicide. Most of the time the prank victims would run towards the scene, possibly in hopes of helping the poor suicide victim. By this time though, the body would be pulled away by way of fishing wire and an actor dressed just like the dummy would approach the prank victims, usually chasing them down. The first scary part of this is that most people believe they've just witnessed a suicide. The second scary part of this is that they are now being followed by a large ghostly figure.